Alright, this is video 4 for today. I hope you guys can follow along with these videos, because y'all know I don't know how to splice videos, and I don't really know that I want to learn right now, but I wanted to follow up with you after making that split to tell you something about when you do make splits. One thing you need to make sure to do, well, I'll make sure to do, is keep an eye on it, because when you make a split, the bees are confused. You may not see any activity come out of that hive for days, because they're, a lot of the bees that are the ones that are still there are the nurse bees, because they don't fly yet. So the foragers are going to fly back to their original hive, and nurse bees will be there, which, until they start graduating to forager, you're not going to see a lot of activity. But a couple of things I always do. When I make a split, I reduce the entrance. I make it real small. That way there's less chance, because when they're, in my experience, and everything I tell you is just my experience, whenever I make a nuke split or split, they're pretty much defenseless. They're not gonna, they won't defend the hive. I mean, they're just, until they get things situated and figure out how till they figure everything out and some bees start graduating to forager, they're very defenseless, and one problem I've had here, especially with nukes or weak hives, is ants. And cinnamon dust or whatever, that cinnamon does not work. Nothing to me has ever worked, other than I have at times sprayed bug spray at the base of where the colony is sitting, and no, it's never hurt the bees. People freak out over stuff like that, but I've sprayed bug spray at the base of hives. I can't tell you how many times, numerous times, because that's the only thing I can do to keep the ants out of a nuke or a weak hive. So reduce the entrance when you make a nuke, and then watch them to make sure that pests aren't getting to them. Depending on where you live, if there's a nectar flow, you're not going to have many insects trying to get in there. But if it's, happen to be during a dearth or something, no telling what will try to get in there. So just those are a couple things I want to tell you about. Today's split was not ideal. I'd have loved to have taken the queen and moved her over. That way they'd be just like they had a swarm themselves. But we're going to go this route and just keep an eye on it. So that queen is so good. I love her genetics, because she's a laying monster. I don't want to lose her in the swarm, so I'm going to go back in that colony here in a few days to see if I see her, or see if there's any more queen cells. And I stole a lot of their bees to make the nuke, so that may hold down their edge to want to swarm. We'll just have to see. But in that case, if there are more queen cells in there, I can always make another split, or if I find the queen, I can move her. So a lot of options there. And I know I've told you guys this in a video before, but if you want to play with bees and get accustomed to working with them, nukes are a great way, because they're small. You don't have to dig through a bunch of 10-frame boxes of honey or nectar, and you can just get in there. And it's been my experience as well that small colonies most of the time are more docile. They're not as defensive as some of the bigger colonies can be. It's not always the case, but in a lot of cases, they're a lot more docile. And a lot of times when I go in a nuke, especially if it's during a nectar flow, when they're real busy and friendly, I'll just put a veil on. And a lot of times when things are going real good, that's all I wear is just a veil. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to follow up with that. I'm sorry for making so many videos like this, but until I learn how to splice them in videos, which I don't know if I'm going to do, this is what we'll have to get by with. But to you new subscribers, thank you for joining, and I hope that we covered something that you wanted to see today or talk about. And again, there are a lot of other beekeepers on YouTube that are good to watch. Cayman Riddle is a good one. Bruce Ginn, the guy that's the master beekeeper I mentioned, I can't remember his name, maybe David, I don't remember, sorry, but you should be able to find him. And there are some others on there too. If you like swarm catches, there's a couple of guys on there that catch swarms. and those are pretty entertaining and fun to watch if that's your thing. They do cutouts as well when bees get in houses and stuff. So thanks for watching. I've been rambling, and we'll see you at the next video, okay?